why did you start this? How did that come to your mind? What were you thinking? Yeah, tell me the story.
Well, we have to keep this short, right?
I know we could be here.
I know the whole story.
I can never know how to like summarize like long story short, but I'm gonna try my best. Because it all started, I have to start like with the very, very beginning, that it all started back in the Dominican Republic when, you know, my mom used to have me being part of all of the beauty events and anything that has to do related to pageants and anything, you know, in my country. So then she put me in modeling school, and I was going to John Casablanca, which is one of the most prestigious fashion modeling schools in Dominican Republic. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I've heard of it, yes.
You heard of it? Okay, yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So I was there. So, okay, trying to short the story. Then I come to United States with that mindset. Like I come to New York to go to school. My dad brought me over here so I can go to college and I can learn English. My mom stayed back in DR, so I came with my dad. And so I came with the mindset that that's all I wanted to be. I wanted to be a model. I wanted to be in the runway. I wanted to be, and back in those days, it was actually Victoria's Secret that I was obsessed about. Because when I saw the models, every time I see their shows, you know, on TV and magazines and all that, I always thought like, oh my gosh, I want to be one of those models one day, you know? But, you know, I was very young back then. So then I came here and kind of like saw reality. You know, I came to the, you know, a girl with big dreams in the Big Apple. That's what I like to call myself sometimes, because I started going to, you know, connecting with people, going to casting. Of course, I was in college. I was going to school. I was doing ESL because I didn't speak any English at all. And all on top of that, I was trying to, you know, follow my dreams and goals, which back then was to become one of those runway models, right? But then reality hit. And then I realized that, you know, by getting some rejections and going to different places to get opportunities and not getting any, and then seeing how the fashion industry works here, well, back then, because thank God it's not like that anymore. Then basically, I find out that I don't qualify. I don't have the, you know, I'm Latina, I'm curvy, I have everywhere, you know, I mean, you know, like, you know what I'm saying. So we cannot, you know, remove that, take that away.
You don't fit the mold of what they want.
Right, I don't fit the mold back then. The standards, was the requirements, you know, I'm not 5'9", I think I'm 5'6" right now. And anyways, long story short, I didn't qualify, So instead what I did was, I decided to see what else was in this industry that I love so much. So then I started seeking opportunities to be a volunteer, to work with designers, to see what's happening, how is the shows done and all that. And then I was able to get to know some people while I was going to college that connected me to other people that led me to meet designers whom I worked for during Backstage and New York Fashion Week as a volunteer. So I worked as a volunteer for 4 seasons. Back then, the Fashion Week shows, they were happening at Bryant Park. And it was like a big scenario there in the park. It was really nice. So I had the chance to meet and see people and get to know all the models and see how the whole industry operates. So then I saw that there was like one thing that was missing to my eye, you know, to my eye personally, that there wasn't a lot of presence of the Latino designers during the Fashion Week scene in New York, which is a big, social, economically speaking, it brings a lot of success. It still does. Well, except for last year, because last year we all know.
Yeah. But it was still successful.
Yeah, but it was still successful. But, you know, comparing to $800 billion a year,
right.
You know, like we know that didn't happen. Yeah. So in such successful industry that helps, you know, the economic in all aspects, there wasn't really a big presence of the Latino designers or the Latino talent. So I took that upon to myself and I said, why is this happening? How come? And I try to talk to people, but who's going to listen to a volunteer that was just there cleaning chairs and helping out? So one day I said to myself, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to create something where during this week that so much is going on during this exact week, I'm gonna, get together a group of designers that are Latinos and do something with it. So maybe people will also come here and see what,
Right.
So making the story shorter, I started one day at a nightclub in Washington Heights, Uptown. That's why the event was called Uptown Fashion Week. That's where it all started.
I remember that, yeah.
You remember that, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So I did one day. I was able to gather 6 designers from locally, from the Bronx, from Washington Heights, from anywhere. Whoever was a designer that was Latino that lives here in New York and has something to show and got some collections and was looking for some sort of exposure and opportunity during the week of Fashion Week. That's the people that I was talking to. So I was able to get around 6 designers. We got this venue that allowed me to do the show there for free, so I didn't have to pay anything. I didn't have any resources then. So we did the show there. You can only imagine. It was a disaster. I'm not afraid of saying that because, I didn't have any resources. I didn't have any sponsors or experience or financial backup. I just did what I thought needed to be done with the very little resources that I had access to. It was a disaster, but the designers, they got to show some clothes to some people, and some people saw that there's talent somewhere in Latin America that can do in the industry. And, years went by, I kept doing it, and then it kept turning into something that was twice a year. And every season, I stopped working for New York Fashion Week as a volunteer, and then I was just focusing and doing my own thing. And every season I would invite other people and other people. Eventually the word got out and all the designers from other countries were like putting an eye into my Instagram account back then and my Facebook and everything that I had, Uptown Fashion Week. And it is a lot. It's very hard to make this short, but it is a lot that happened between now and 11 years, between then and now, which is almost 11 years. So, but what I can tell you is that today, God willing, and thanks to all the people that support her and the people who believe in this and also the designers who believed in me personally, that I'm this girl who came from the Dominican Republic and they put their work into my hands to let the people see it. I am very grateful that these people trusted me with their talent to put them out into the fashion scene in New York. So today we transitioned, we are FDLA, which is Fashion Designers of Latin America, Federación de Diseñadores de Latinoamérica en español. And we have over 260 members that are designers from all over the world, 90% Latinos, but we also have a special segment for international talents who are also up and coming and have a lot of potential and are looking for a chance. We also open the doors for that small amount of other international talents. So we have almost 260 members. We are all over the world. We have designers who travel and come to New York exclusively to be on the FDLA platform. We have the honor to count with designers that are celebrities such as Agatha Ruiz de la Parada, who only shows with in New York with us. She doesn't show anywhere else in New York. We also have Custo Barcelona, who's a big celebrity designer. We have designers that have passed through FDLA throughout the years, like Michael Costello, who was with us in 2013, I think it was. We also have Mark Bauer, who's a huge celebrity designer. And the list goes on, and every season we grow and we try to be better every year after year. And I don't know if I went over the 10 minutes, but
no, it's great. I love it. And you know what? I think the story is just so inspiring because, what you say, like starting with nothing and starting little and asking for like whatever resources you can, and people stuck with you like with it because they knew you had a vision and you're one of the few people, maybe the only person at the time who was even thinking it,
Yeah.
That's so long ago. And the fact that you've managed to do it, and every time I go, it's bigger, it's better,
yeah.
Everything starts to escalate, and it's really become something really incredible. So I mean, it's like, it's like your child, you put everything into it.
It is. No, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that I'm speaking with you and you can vouch for that we every season, I know I cannot fix it all at once, but every season I try to make something better. And then the next season, something else better and something else better. And little by little, next thing you know, the show is getting bigger and better each time by fixing or making, upgrading one thing at a time, because, you know, that's also something that is important to know that we, with the time, I'm not going to say that, oh, we are a huge successful event, which we might be, because a lot of people, I've been getting emails from other countries, from embassies, from it's amazing how other countries and other people see our platform. But I know, like, starting it from scratch, from having nothing and going from there to where we are now, I do know, and I always keep it present, that it was a long 10, almost 11 years transitioning and fixing things and struggling and growing and failing and stepping up again and, you know, starting over and all that stuff. So that has to be said, because a lot of people might think, oh, that's easy, I can just go ahead and do that, but it's not as nice, it's not as easy and simple as it might sound.
You make it look like it, because you just look so, you know, you look it like it just happened like that. But I know this business is not easy.
It is not.
Really tough. So
very competitive industry, and if you don't know how to maintain yourself, they will eat you alive. Like, if you don't know how to keep your reputation up and your standards high and raise the bar every season and make sure, because there's a lot of powerful people involved in this industry, that I have faced a few challenges, not a few challenges, a lot of challenges, but a few of them has to do with big brands and big platforms that kind of want to, you know, remove me from the scene. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna keep going. I don't think I ever see myself doing anything other than this, because I love it so much. It's one of the things that I'm passionate about. Not only that, me as a Latina, I came from Dominican Republic, and here I am making, you know, big moves like Cardi B says in her songs, making big moves, but also the lives of people that I have changed throughout this platform is what I'm definitely much passionate about. It is a rewarding experience for me to see that I can find a designer that comes from Honduras, from Ecuador, from Peru, from one of our countries, and these designers are so talented. And if it wasn't for FDLA, they wouldn't have otherwise another opportunity, unless they have hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest to be part of the New Year Fashion Week scene, then they wouldn't have the chance to show their talent to the world. And that, for me, is priceless. And to know that I have something to do with these designers growing their careers, building up and following their dreams, it's no price to that. So I will always fight for this and keep going until God allows me to.
There's so much talent out there. So it is great to have a place like this for them to showcase what they do. So
absolutely.